Stephen. I'm Shannon Lodge.
Nice to meet you too.
So lovely to meet you.
Have a great day.
Absolutely, you too.
I tell you, you've got the best of the best right there. Brian Vincent is your recreation chair, and he is phenomenal. So
Great, great.
anyway, looking forward to working with you.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Hello. I'm Shannon Lodge. I'm very new here too.
Oh.
What is your phone number?
Okay, well. Okay, we're ready to come out of closed session. Mr. Vincent, if you would kindly read.
Whereas the Farmville Town Council has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. And whereas Section 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the Farmville Town Council that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law, now therefore be it resolved that the Farmville Town Council hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification resolution applies, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the Farmville Town Council.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Clerk, if you'd call the roll.
Mr. Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent,
Yes.
Mr. Parrott,
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mrs. Amos.
Okay, we're now back in open session. Mr. Davis, do you have anything else from the agenda?
No, sir.
Okay, anybody else have anything?
I'd like to make a comment in regards to a business owner here in town that's trying to open a business, and they've approached me about the regulations for signs on Main Street, or maybe on all locations, I'm not sure, with a maximum height requirement of no more than 15 feet. With that being said, the current business awnings are 14 feet high as far as at the top of the awnings. So therefore, that leaves them 1 foot in order to be able to put a sign above that awning on Main Street. In looking at it, in my humble opinion, I think we need to go back and look at our ordinance and possibly consider revising that ordinance to give a higher height of 15 feet. If you look at 15 feet on Main Street on most businesses, that's not anything. 15 feet is minimal, to say the least, in what we've got. It's just my opinion, but this particular owner wants to put a sign up, and I personally believe it's a hindrance of 15 feet as far as for them to be able to put a sign up in order to encourage a business to open up business. And I'd like to see us address it.
Mr. Davis, you're the zoning administrator.
Hopefully not for long. We can look at the ordinance and how we can change it to where we still have, I mean, the purpose when we did the sign ordinance is to make it so that there's some uniform allowances so that some people don't have one that's huge in size and one small, and they keep rising down as you go down Main Street, taller and taller and taller and things like that. So, yeah, we can definitely look and come back with some recommendations. There's always also the ability for the zoning administrator to make certain modifications for approval of different things, or there's the Board of Zoning Appeals that can take up an item and override the ordinance, which is the foundation did that with the movie theater sign. But anyway, I mean, we there's many avenues, but we can definitely look at the ordinance.
Okay. Anybody have anything else?
Could we possibly address that between now and our regular meeting?
No, because the planning commission has to have a public hearing before you change any ordinance, before the council can adopt any changes. There's no way that that could be done before.
So when could they possibly have their next meeting?
I mean, we would have to do the research, propose a change, and their meeting is the fourth Wednesday, so there would be no time to advertise. You have to advertise a public hearing at minimum of 2 weeks prior. So it would have to be October before we would be able to do that.
Today's the first Wednesday in September, right?
Yeah, but for us to
2 weeks?
look at what modification we would look at changing, and then also, I mean, we want to do our due diligence to see what we.
Okay, all right. I'm just asking.
But the individual situation that he's speaking about, you can look at and see if you can make any.
Yeah, I've already offered that. We're going to work with the individual that came to him. Yes.
Ms. Amos, would you go?
I've been pushing the wrong button all day. I wanted us to take a look at extending the water and sewer tap incentive. That actually expires in February of next year. I've got the numbers from 2018, how many water and sewer taps we've actually had. And in 2020, we had 18 in the town of Farmville. In 2021, we've had 12. 2019, we had 37. So our building has actually gone down in the town of Farmville. So I just wanted y'all to consider that, perhaps extending it maybe 6 months.
Mr. Davis, can you take a look at that and
I will.
bring a recommendation back?
I sure will. I just remind. I mean, as a reminder now in your minds, that reduces what we collect when someone does build, and it's in perpetuity. You know that we have to maintain that tap once it's made, and so we won't. That's money that we're continuing to lose, that we have to pay later on.
Understood. We just can take a look at it and bring some information back to council. The other thing is there is a conference call amongst various leaders every couple of weeks regarding COVID. There was one Monday? Yesterday. The hospital continues to be pretty much at capacity, and the region is pretty much on code black. There are 5 hospitals that are on diversion in the region.
Yeah, they have been off and on diversion, which means they cannot take any more patients. As of yesterday, our hospital had 12 in the COVID unit. I believe Lynchburg had over 70 patients in the COVID unit. Neither hospital has any beds available, which means if you have something else that's a heart attack, a stroke, those types of things, you're being diverted to another hospital because there's not capacity at the hospital closest to you. Most of the patients that they're seeing, there are a few breakthrough cases, but most of the cases that they're seeing are unvaccinated. And what they're seeing is also it's a mix of age. There are younger people that are even more sick than they have been in the past with this variant. And so they're just promoting that people take into consideration what has been put out there, what has been approved, and to look at getting vaccinated is the only way to reduce this.
So the number of hospitals that are unable to accept new patients, is this similar in number to what we would have experienced in peak time of COVID last year? Just similar?
I believe from the conversation, I don't want to definitively say this, but no, I don't, the code black, this is, and the amount of days that it's been that, and consecutively, is not what has been happening in the past, no. But they are also seeing people that are maybe put off symptoms or problems that they were having during the other COVID crisis that are now needing hospital care. So you've got people that have put off some things that are now being treated on top of a surge in COVID cases.
And the other part of that is we're all aware that the population at Pickett is increasing, and they do anticipate seeing patients from Pickett at our ER. So that will also increase their volume. And their nurses are already on code something or the other. They're seeing the maximum number of patients that a nurse can see.
Yeah, actually, they're seeing more than their number that they have set as a policy in order to care. And system, I believe they're down nurses system-wide.
But as Tom said, we will make it. We're going to get through this. We always do. Anybody have anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.